Could the Golden State Warriors be on the brink of a seismic shift in their roster? Imagine a future where the Dubs not only have Stephen Curry and Jimmy Butler, but also the towering presence of a former MVP in the paint. The buzz is real, and whispers of a major trade are circulating that could elevate this franchise to an entirely new level. If you've ever dreamed of seeing the Warriors become an unstoppable force, you're going to want to stick around for this. Hit that subscribe button and give us a like to make sure you're on top of the latest developments in Golden State. Cheers! Buzz surrounding the Golden State Warriors is electrifying, and as a die-hard fan, I can barely contain my excitement. The possibility of adding a superstar like Joel Embiid to our roster is not just a dream. It feels like it could be a reality, especially with the recent addition of Jimmy Butler. Can you imagine the firepower of Stephen Curry, Butler, Draymond Green and Embiid, all on the same team? It's a tantalizing thought that has me on the edge of my seat. The Warriors are clearly taking a long-term approach, focusing not just on winning now, but ensuring they remain a dynasty for years to come. With Butler's experience, intensity, and Curry's unmatched skill, the energy in the locker room must be palpable. Draymond's relentless defense adds another layer to this potent mix. But as we look to the future, the name on every fan's lips is Joel Embiid. Despite his current injury status, the potential for a trade is gaining traction, and it could be a game-changer. Now, let's break this down. Philadelphia might want to pivot after a disappointing season, which opens the door for the Warriors to swoop in. This could allow Golden State to acquire Embiid at a more favorable price due to his injury. It's a rare opportunity that could reshape the franchise. Imagine what it would be like to have Embiid's scoring and defensive prowess and solidifying our frontcourt. The synergy between him and Butler, who he's teamed with before, could create an unstoppable force on the court. I've been analyzing the potential trade scenarios, and it looks like the Warriors could offer Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody, and Brandon Podziemski, along with a couple of future first-round picks. It sounds steep, but considering Embiid's injury history, we may not need to mortgage the future to land him. The numbers speak volumes. Even while dealing with injuries, Embiid has averaged over 23 points and nearly 9 rebounds this season. That kind of talent can't be overlooked. But what would it mean for the Warriors if this trade goes through? We'd have a lineup that combines elite shooting with dominant inside presence. Curry and Butler can stretch the floor, while Embiid operates in the paint. This balance could make us one of the most formidable offenses in the league. Plus, let's not forget that the chemistry between Butler and Embiid could reignite, creating a dynamic that's lethal for opposing defenses. As we think about the implications of this move, it's clear that the Warriors are aware of the ticking clock on Curry's prime. Every moment counts, and making a bold move for Embiid could be the difference between another championship run or falling short. This isn't just about now. It's about building a foundation that keeps us competitive for years to come. But here's where it gets even more interesting. If Embiid joins the Warriors, we'd instantly become the team that every other franchise fears. The NBA landscape would shift dramatically, and the pressure on rival teams would skyrocket. It's a thrilling prospect, but it also comes with its risks. Should we gamble on a player with a history of injuries, or do we stick with the young talent we've developed? Honestly, I'm torn. And you, what do you think? Should the Warriors take the plunge for Embiid, or would that be a misstep? I want to hear your opinions down below. Your insights matter in this passionate community of Warriors fans. The Golden State Warriors are making waves as we approach the final stretch of the season, and the latest news about Gary Payton II is nothing short of thrilling. After suffering a non-displaced nasal bone fracture, Payton is set to make his return to the lineup against the Brooklyn Nets. This is huge, folks. The Warriors recently listed him as probable, and he'll be sporting a protective face mask if he plays. I mean, can you imagine the intensity he'll bring back to the court? Payton is a defensive powerhouse, and his absence was felt during that 114-102 win over the Knicks. Let's not forget the circumstances surrounding his injury. Payton was on fire before going down, contributing 9 points, a steal, and a block in just 10 minutes against the Charlotte Hornets. This kid has been averaging 9.1 points, 2.4 rebounds, 1.6 assists, and 1.1 steals over the last 7 games. Now, with the Warriors riding a wave of confidence, having won 9 out of their last 11 games, his return could be the catalyst that solidifies their standing in the Western Conference. A win against the Nets could really anchor their position, in for that coveted 6th seed. But it's not all good news. Jonathan Kuminga is still sidelined, and while we're all eager to see him return, it looks like the Warriors are aiming for Saturday's game against the Detroit Pistons as his comeback. Indoit. I don't know about you, but I'm counting down the days. Kuminga has been out since January 4th, and his absence has definitely left a hole. We've seen what he can do when he's healthy, scoring in double digits in 17 straight games, with those explosive 30-plus point performances. The Warriors have been managing to stay competitive, but adding Kuminga back into the mix is going to be a game-changer. He's been in the final stages of rehab from that significant ankle sprain, and while it's a wise decision to wait for him to return at home, I can't help but feel a bit anxious about how his integration back into the lineup will go. Do you think this was the best decision? Honestly, I'm torn. On one hand, you want him fully healthy and ready to make an impact, but on the other hand, the team is in a groove right now, and adding a player with so much talent is always a risk. Meanwhile, the Warriors have also made some roster moves that I think we should touch on. Pat Spencer has been converted from a 2-way contract to a standard deal, which is great for him and the team. He's been averaging 2.8 points, 1.4 rebounds, and 1.3 assists this season, which may seem modest, but it's about depth as we head toward the playoffs. Plus, they've signed Braxton Key to a 2-way deal, stepping into Spencer's previous slot. Key has shown potential in the G League, averaging 14.8 points, 8.7 rebounds, and 4.3 assists. This is a smart move by the front office, keeping the roster flexible and deep, especially as the playoffs approach. But let's get back to the heart of the matter. How do these decisions shape the Warriors' future? Bringing back Payton and eventually Kuminga adds layers to the team's defensive strategies and offensive potential. The Warriors are climbing up the standings, and the fans are starting to feel that familiar sense of hope. The playoffs are just around the corner, and every game counts. It's about momentum, it's about rhythm, and it's about every single player knowing their role. And you? What do you think? I want to hear your opinions down below. Are you excited about Payton's return? How do you feel about Kuminga's potential comeback? Let's get this conversation going. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel to stay updated on all things Warriors. And remember to activate the notification bell to get all the latest updates. This is a thrilling time for the Warriors, and we're all in this together as we chase that championship dream.